Jason,
All right. Welcome back. It says it's streaming live, but on okay, here we go. Now it's reloading on Facebook. So we should be good to go. All right. Well, good morning and welcome to 1 Million Cups Atlanta South. We are here live and in person at Launch and Go Workspace in Peachtree City, and proud to bring you two presenters this morning. We have Wize Academy, and we've got some comedy in store. Not exactly. The comedian is actually talking about his business, not so much here to entertain, but he is entertaining. I have seen him present at 1 Million Cups before. But first up, we will thank our sponsors, Launch and Go Workspace, Highland Bakery, and is the coffee still from? And the coffee is from Bitter Bitch Coffee. Hopefully for more months to come, but with that to be determined. So for those of you that are tuning in later and are unfamiliar with what 1 Million Cups is, it is an organization to support entrepreneurs. If you are in your business for up to 4 years, 5 years, is it? Let's get the number right. 5 years. You are welcome to present to our community. We just ask that you go onto the 1 Million Cups website and apply, and we will review your application. And if you're accepted, we will schedule you. We only meet the first Wednesday of every month from 8:30 to 9:30. But there are over 160 other chapters nationwide who meet weekly. So we encourage you to not only apply to speak with us, but also other chapters. And thank you to the pandemic. Everyone's meeting virtually. So Vishal, where are you located?
I am in Dallas-Fort Worth.
There you go. And Mark is from Denver, I believe. So we've got presenters from different time zones today, which is great. Or I don't know, is Dallas, is that central?
Central, yeah.
Central time, yeah, perfect. All right, well, without further ado, Vishal, I will turn it over to you. Let me pop over.
All right, I'm going to share my screen here.
Very good.
Can you see this presentation, Jason?
Yes, we can.
Yep. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. And thank you so much, Jason and team, for hosting me and Wize Computing Academy. At Wize Computing Academy, we inspire young learners to be the leaders of tomorrow. So the future is coming. The question really is, are we and our children ready for it? STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and math, related jobs grew at 3 times the rate of non-STEM jobs in the last decade. About 2.5 million STEM jobs go unfilled every year. And this, on top of this, minorities and women are deeply underrepresented in the STEM field. And all this is happening while the STEM salaries are almost, 50 to 100% more than the average salary out there. So while there is this huge pent up demand, the supply of talented folks in the STEM field is just not there. And that's the state that we are in today. And that's the thing that we at Wize want to sort of address as we move forward. My name is Vishal Hussain. I am co-founder of Wize Computing Academy. Our goal at Wize is to prepare children to reach their full potential and achieve great things, even bigger than we've ever imagined. I'm sure many of you have kids of your own. If you don't, then you must have nieces and nephews who can teach you a thing or two about the devices you use. They can show you how to use the various apps and whatnot. But if you turn around and ask them if they've actually created any of those things that they use on these devices, I'm sure 9 out of 10 times the answer would be no. So the situation is that we are creating a generation of awesome users who really are not presented with the opportunity to understand how to create these things. So our goal at Wise is to enable them to be creators and not just the users of technology. And how we do that is we offer project-based and student-oriented approach to teaching computer science, robotics, and design to young learners aged 4 to 18 in a hybrid fashion. So we do it online and we also do it at host locations. And host locations for us primarily are schools. They could be elementary, middle, or preschools, or Montessori's, or even community centers. So the benefits, as far as benefits go, while we are using coding and computer science and robotics and design as the medium of what we are teaching, our focus is overall development of a child. We're looking at enhancing their general cognitive skills, their computational skills like problem solving, logical thinking, critical reasoning, patience, and also we have this huge focus on presentation skills, right? If you cannot express yourself, you're not going to go very further in whatever it is that you do when you grow up. So we focus a lot on self-esteem, confidence, and presentation skills as well. We're also a franchisor. We've been franchising for about 2.5 years now, and our franchisees get a recession and pandemic proof business. We prior to this pandemic, we were mostly in person and less online. During the pandemic, we were 100% online, and now in summer we are looking to go back some percentage of our sessions to be in person and mostly online. Also, since we don't have a brick and mortar store of our own, our costs are low initially and on an ongoing basis. We offer a rapid growth business that is home based. We offer huge territories. And the cool thing is you have a flexible schedule so you can work around everything else that's going on in your life. And last but not the least, what we do offers our franchisees an opportunity to make a difference in the community they live in. For market validation, we are in about 55 to 65 host locations at any given point, and these host locations are schools, preschools, and other centers. We started in 2015, so about 6.5 years. We have 12 locations in total. 10 are franchise locations and 2 are corporate locations. And we are looking to grow both in the franchising space and also in online instructor-led classes. So just an overview, recap. Established in 2015, multiple locations in North America, but we are teaching students around the globe online. We also prepare students for this high-end coding and robotics competitions like the first Lego League, and our students do extremely well. So we've won various awards. We win them year after year due to the preparation that our instructors are able to do with them. We also partner with various non-profit organizations like the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts, local universities, local public libraries to really offer our programs to even students that would not have, the families that would not otherwise be able to afford our classes. Of course, we are very reasonably priced, but we still want to make sure that our goal is to reach out to as many learners as we can in the world. So these are some of the schools that participate with us. We are on the franchising side, we recognized as a top franchise in the children education space. This year, we were honored that we were recognized as top new franchise for 2021 by the Entrepreneur magazine. We are 5-star rated on social media and Google and such. And we've received some really excellent testimonials from our parents. We are proud of the work our learners do and the growth that they're having as they go through our computer science pathway. So this platform of 1 million cups is really not just about us boasting about what we do well. It's also about challenges, right? What challenges we face so we can get the feedback, the input from entrepreneurs, like-minded folks that are part of this platform. So the challenges for us, the first one is how do we scale the business in mostly in terms of finding the right kind of people to be part of our franchise. People who would gel with us. So as you know, franchising is as we bring any franchisee on board, it's a very long-term relationship. We see them welcoming into our extended family. Brand recognition, we are recognized here in DFW, but I'm sure many of you have never heard of us. So this is a typical challenge of a growing company. How do we spend the right dollars in the right places for the brand awareness? Lastly, this is more generic. As I said, minorities and women are deeply underrepresented in the STEM field. And what we found is that's primarily because lack of awareness in certain part of communities in the STEM field. So that's something that we also want to address as we go along. With that, I would wrap up and open it up for any questions.
Vishal, that was a very good presentation. I think you're right. We here in the Atlanta market are not familiar with Wize Academy. So I probably do have a slew of questions. So this is not brick and mortar. It's strictly online, and it's geared towards kids from what, K through 12?
So, good question, Jason. So it's not brick and mortar, but it's not online only. We offer hybrid teaching. So our instructors do the teaching both online and in person. And in-person teaching happens at the schools themselves. And this would be either enrichment classes or after-school classes at schools and preschools.
So why not Wize Academy schools, but tapping into local schools, public
That's right.
schools?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So
Okay,
that's right. We sort of see ourselves sort of like Airbnb to hotels, right? If there's already so much of infrastructure that's available as part of the school system that frankly is underutilized. And we feel that the learners are already at schools and preschools and this location. So instead of having them come to us, we send our instructors to them to make it easy for them. And also what it does is it keeps our cost low, so we can transfer some of that cost, low prices to our families as well.
so are you finding that parents are, or school systems or teachers, who's your typical client?
So, we sort of see our business as direct to consumers, which is direct to the families, parents, also to the parents via the school system. So it's sort of B to B to C as well. So it's in both channels. We get our learners both through our host locations and directly, both in person and online.
Now, and I don't know about other states, but I'm from Texas. So 20 years ago, I taught for mad science, similar to yours, teaching physics to fifth graders after school, right? So I know that there's a lot of opportunity there. And I will say, I think on the challenges, I don't think that STEM awareness, in my opinion, is a challenge. As a woman, in the finance field, that was a big science and math geek. Like everybody knew it was just a matter of what people wanted to kind of settle into, right? But how do you, well, one, it seems like you guys have a lot of different offerings. That's a pretty big age range. So, how do you, like you said, differentiate yourself from others, but then also who writes your programs?
Who writes or rates?
Writes. Like
Right.
who develops the content?
Got you. So there's a few things in there. So first of all, you were doing math science. You're from Texas, so very close to what we do. Math sciences, I think, in the same. I would sort of put them in the same vertical as us,
Are they
children.
still around?
Yes, I believe so. I
Oh,
don't
wow.
I don't hear about them much, but I believe they're still around. And so that's one. Two, as far as awareness goes, I totally understand that you may feel that people are very well aware, but believe me, we've done classes here in Dallas with students who've never used an iPad in their life before. These are middle school students. So this is, I'm not talking about another country. I'm talking about here in Dallas. So there are certainly pockets of people who, such education hasn't reached even in the cities that we live in. So we
Hmm.
certainly see that. The third question you had was who builds our content and our curriculum. So I myself, my background is in technology. And I'm a computer science engineer myself. And so is our team come from the tech industry. And, so we are technologists in the education industry. So I lead the curriculum development, but we have people who are helping us identify the projects. I do that myself, write the curriculum, create. So we believe in flip learning. What that means is, we create a lot of videos that are focused both on for learners and also for our trainers, our instructors, so that it makes it easy for them to deliver the classes as well. So we are doing everything from curriculum development 100% in-house.
Okay. How many different types of, like, tell us a little bit about the content that you have.
Excellent question. Yeah, absolutely. So we start at preschool and we go all the way to high school. So what we do is, so we're looking at three sections. So we're looking at coding, we're looking at robotics, and we're looking at designing. And the way we go about doing that is we have this computer science pathway. If you allow me, I'm going to bring it up on my screen here real quick. You can still see my screen, right? I'm still sharing.
Yes, you are.
Okay, great. So we have this computer science pathway where we start at introductory level and we go all the way to advanced level. And if you see, these are color coded and these are color coded for what's coding, what's robotics, and what's designing. So we start at block-based coding for young learners, which is using the games and the stories that they know of, only we bring them to life through animation, through robotics and things. And then we go to beginner level where we are introducing them to a little bit more on each areas using tools from Legos, tools from Vex Robotics. We look at various tools and technologies, make sure we're using them only to enhance the experience, because ultimate goal is for students to enjoy it, right? If they're having fun, they're learning without realizing that they're learning, and that's the goal that we're after. So, and then we move them on to intermediate level on all the three aspects, and then move them on to advanced level. So we cover the gambit. We do artificial intelligence. We teach them game development. We teach them how do you code with augmented and virtual reality, mobile app development, website development, anything that you think you would need to really express yourself through technology, right? The idea is to allow them to create on this through this medium, which offers you multi-dimensional approach, right? You don't really just have a paper and pen anymore. You can express yourselves through building animations, through building games, storytelling, videos, like so. It's just the options to express yourselves have gone up manyfold through the use of technology, and we continue to leverage that to our advantage.
So talk to us a little bit about the franchise opportunity. Like, who are you looking for? How do you are they the ones that teach the classes, or do you help them find tutors?
Sure, sure. So our franchisees are typically professionals. They could also be educators, but they don't really have to be. And what they do, so we have all a mix of all kinds, right? We have franchisees who teach themselves, but they also hire part-time instructors to do the teaching. I myself teach too when I can. So it's a complete mix of franchise owners. They can either focus on business development and overall business, or they can do that along with teaching. So it's totally up to them. However, our training that we provide to them that includes sales, marketing, operations, ongoing support, and also introduction to our curriculum. And basically, they go through our training program all the time. And the idea is that they have all the framework, all the tools to where we can help them. We help them regularly to even post the jobs out there, hire the right individual to basically run the classes if that's not what they want to do.
Michelle, we have a couple people who are engaging with us via Facebook Live. One of whom is Melanie Holt. She is the owner of Project Excel Readiness Program. So also dealing with education. She had a question if you have some type of a conference or some culminating event that displays what the students learn or what they can do in the STEM field.
Oh, so if we host a conference, so what we typically do is, by the way, I would recommend and invite Melanie to join our social media pages on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We post a ton of classroom videos and projects. So the way we approach this is we are not hiring people to do marketing videos for us, right? We're trying to be as real as we can. So you will see real classroom videos, real projects there. So the idea is to sort of showcase through this medium what we are all about. As far as the conferences go, we participate in conferences, we participate in PTAs, we do online workshops of our own, but we don't have this huge conference where people from all walks of life come. Maybe that's something that we can think of, but we try to engage at local level. All our franchises try to engage at local level, at school level, through what I just described.
That's great. I actually tried to find you on social to tag you, but all the ones that came up on Facebook at least were your various locations, not like a corporate. So I wasn't sure how to go about doing that, but I can always connect with you right after and share with people what you want me to share with them.
It's the Wize Academy, WIZE Academy.
That's it, just nothing else. Okay.
Yeah.
Her follow-up question is, does the franchise provide the technology and or resources for the activities or just the curriculum? I think you did touch on that already. So
Yes, yes. So we provide, we for online classes like everybody else, we use Zoom, Microsoft Teams. So that's very accessible to everybody. As far as the equipment goes, many times we have, deals where we get some discounts, bulk discounts from vendors. All of those are available to our franchise owners, just like they're available to us. So as far as support goes, we provide support on technology and everybody has 100% access to our curriculum and ongoing training on all of the above.
we're approaching the switching point. Darren, have any questions? All right. Well, Vishal, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I think the fact that we had Melanie tuning in virtually is a testament to just how our small chapter here can reach the right people. So hopefully that leads to something for you.
Certainly.
And we really appreciate you sharing your business with us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. And Mark, I see you are sharing now. So hopefully this transition goes smoothly.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
awesome. All right. Let me start a timer here. Okay. The difference between a large pizza and a stand-up comedian is the pizza can feed a family of 4.
Oh.
Mark Masters, this is my comedy adventure. This is 1 million cups. So let's do some asks up front. I'll remind you of this at the end. Feedback on the presentation, always helpful. Inroads for talks and shows can be anything. Your pickleball meetup group, your dog's birthday party. I'll talk to them. And input on marketing, because I'm not very good at it, is always welcome as well. Just one more time, inroads for talks and shows. If it's a nonprofit, something like that, I'll waive my fee and do a pro bozo. That's what I like to call that. Let's hop into it. I'm on a 10-year journey to become a professional comedian. Right now, I do get paid for my clean brand of optimistic comedy. I got a show tomorrow night in New Haven, Connecticut, in fact. But I'd like to be more like that pizza I was just describing. So, and why would I want to do this? Well, I just want to go around the world and make people laugh and make them healthier even. That's right, I said healthier. Smart people from MIT, Harvard, Stanford, they all agree that when we laugh, we make biological improvements to our well-being, which is pretty great. So how do I go from like zero to comic? How do I become this delivery agent of positivity? It's simple, by failing over and over again, on stage, off stage. If I'm not failing, I'm not trying hard enough. That's my motto. And this isn't just my idea. Generations of comics agree that you have to, to get to Carnegie Hall, they say it takes practice. To get on Comedy Central, it takes failure. One comedian that I really admire was asked what makes him so good, and he said, nothing. I've just done it 1,000 times. So I'm putting in my 10,000 failures and hopefully getting better with each one of them. A lot of people want to know if this is glamorous. I bet Vishal is wondering that right now. It's true that sometimes my homework is watching Netflix from my couch, or having a drink in a comedy club, or even hanging out with very famous people. But it turns out that's really the 1%. 99% of this is a slog. It's a lot of long waits and lonesome venues. What I describe as 2 steps forward, 1 step stuck in a sticky basement bar. And then there's the travel. You guys surely know about those little tiny shampoo and conditioner bottles. It turns out you don't get those when you sleep in your car. All right, let's switch gears to marketing. I'll tell you a quick story. When I was a little knee-high, a little cotton top, my parents asked me to dress up for a special occasion. They wanted me to dress myself up, and the results, as you can see, were special. I don't know what I was thinking with that. I mean, the belt was a good idea, just poor execution. I look like a hipster, modern era hipster. This picture tells me a couple important things. One, I can be funny without even trying. And two, I don't always care what other people think about me, which is so important as an entrepreneur. As a comedian, it means I'm never afraid to be the hardest working person in a room, which is perfect for marketing because I have no idea what I'm doing and I try and make it up with volume. So I'm on the webs, I'm on the Twitters, I have a YouTube channel, I have a book that I sell in person and online and in bookstores, even when it means negotiating with this cat. Where is it? There it is. Look at that. I got a newsletter, which is a quirky way of letting you guys know that I'm old. It's full of stories of failure and occasional successes, and it saves me money on therapy. So it's a win-win. Hopefully somebody signs up today for it. I have a store for my fan base, which at the moment is connected to a desk fan off screen. But one day maybe I'll have a real fan base because I write a lot of handwritten notes, which has led to stickers and magnets everywhere from Seattle to Bozeman, and books in the hands of fans everywhere from a beach in Hawaii to a bar in Chicago. My most important product is always going to be me on stage telling jokes. Unfortunately, show business is a harsh mistress. A lot of people think good stage time is driven by luck, but I don't believe in luck. And I'm going to give you an example. So a year ago, February 2020, I got on to a sold out comedy show at a world famous comedy stage, and I made the most of it. Waves of laughter hit me in the chest, 350 people strong in the audience. Afterwards, there were high fives and people taking pictures with me. I was like, I am done sleeping in that Subaru. I'm ready to start sleeping in a nicer Subaru. I felt like I was hitting stride and I was ready for anything. And then cue the record scratch, something I wasn't ready for. Most of us weren't. We all had to adjust, right? I had this little comedy show that started small, but it snowballed into one of the better independent comedy shows in the state of Colorado. And I cried when I had to cancel months of booked shows that March. But I got back on the horse. I pivoted, came back online. Now I can have 6 comics in 6 different states. Nobody knows or cares if they're wearing pants, just that they have great TV credits. And this went so well with the help of Million Cups, I pivoted, or I white labeled it, made a product for families who are feeling lonely and disconnected during the holidays. I would curate a personal comedy show for their group of friends and family online. Same TV famous comics, same technology, just slightly different, smaller audience. I also have a version for kids and a version for offices. So if you guys need some laughs at a happy hour event or anything like that, look me up. I also started doing a lot of corporate speaking during the pandemic, which has been a bright spot from a revenue perspective. That's been a lot of fun. I give a 20-minute talk about health and laughter, basically expanding on that one slide you saw earlier into a whole talk. And of course, during the pandemic, I needed a way to fail because that's so crucial for me. So I started the Comedy Test Kitchen. It's a free weekly 30-minute show every Friday. It started small, started not so great, but it's hit its stride. Now I've had comics from 5 continents, 8 countries, 34 states, and growing. And again, it's every Friday for 30 minutes, and it's free. And remember it even helped me find a silver lining during the pandemic. Maybe you remember this goal of going around and making people laugh around the world. Well, here I am in the most unusual place. I'm in a illegally parked car on borrowed Wi-Fi. I got 40 people streaming online. I got on-screen audience members from Mexico to Malaysia and comics from Australia to Zimbabwe. And we're all failing together. We're having fun. We're even getting healthier, right? With the power of laughter. So I'm Mark Masters, and I got some asks here, and I'd love to chat with you guys.
Mark, that was great. Thank you for making me laugh this morning.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I know you're in Denver, right?
Yep, Colorado.
A couple hours earlier, and we
Yeah.
appreciate you waking up early to be with us.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I've seen you already, so I feel like I kind of know a lot of the answers to questions, but do you guys have anything?
Well, I think my first thing on the presentation feedback is, I mean, obviously you have good delivery with how you speak, but I like the way you touch on a lot of different things, and some of them piqued my interest. But I thought you did a good job of kind of displaying a lot of the different opportunities people have to engage with you and things that you offer. So I thought that it was really well put together for the content. And again, obviously you present your actual presentation is very good.
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate that.
I think the one thing that I probably would add would be maybe just a little bit more about, what are you looking for as far as like speaking opportunities? Like, what does that look like? And
Yeah,
what does that,
I'm gonna take
what
that
is
as an opportunity, and more like a question than a statement, and I'll respond to it. I mean, ultimately, what I'm looking for at the lowest level is an opportunity to speak for free to any audience size. At the highest level, I'd like to be paid. So I got paid to give the health and laughter talk, but pretty significant amount of money to a hospital group not that long ago. And it really wouldn't have been possible to do as good a job as I did without all the singles club on Meetup and the Rotary Club in a small town in Virginia and the Better Business Bureau in Texas that I presented to for free and kind of practiced the material. Like you spoke about how good my presentation was today, which I appreciate. It's not because I'm special, it's because I practiced quite a bit. I've given the presentation, 30 plus times, and I pay attention to when people smile and laugh. And if I go 30 seconds without a smile or a laugh, I work on adding a laugh into that portion of the presentation. And so it's similar with my other talk, which is, it's longer and a little more sciencey, a little more serious, but it's fun as well. And it's only as good as it is because I've had an opportunity to give it a bunch of times. So really, like, if you have a bridge group, of 6 people, but you think a 20-minute chat with a comedian would be kind of cool, that's very helpful to me if you make that introduction, because it gives me a couple opportunities. One, it gives me the opportunity to practice the talk and try new material in a situation where I'm not getting paid, so it's kind of low stakes. And secondarily, it gives me an opportunity for future referral business. You might be surprised how often I speak to a small group of like 5 to 10 people, and then somebody reaches out to me later and asks for a private comedy show that nets me hundreds of dollars. So, so that's really what I'm looking for. Any size, a library group, it really doesn't matter who, as long as they're humans and they speak English, you know, I'll talk to them.
That's great. I didn't realize to that extent. I have a fairly large family, but we're all spread out literally all over the world. And like we have my uncle and that part of the family are in Australia. So when we do organize like a big family call, it would be so fun to have like entertainment and not just the typical, all over the place conversation on Zoom.
Or-
Yeah.
To really consider that.
I'd love to participate. My email.
I want to just share 2 comments, or 3 comments actually, from Melanie Holt. She asked, 1, do you have a podcast? 2, she just wanted to let you know that she loves you have material for kids. They truly need to learn to look at failure differently. And her question, what about material for teachers? They definitely need laughter, especially during spring testing, trying to make it to the end of the school year, etc.
Yeah, awesome. So let's talk about the podcast first. I do have a podcast. There's 1 season of it available. The name is very easy to remember. It's Mark Masters. You can find it on pretty much any platform, including YouTube. It's basically, I took comedians that I admired and drove them to far away open mics, and we talked on the way, is the basic shtick of that. So that's obviously pre-pandemic. I also, just yesterday I recorded a new podcast. I forget the name of it. The most, it's not public yet. It comes out on the 15th. So I do a lot of podcasts as a guest. I do have a section on my website that isn't updated, that has links to podcasts I've been on. The most recent one is Girls Who Do Stuff podcast. That was a lot of fun. We talk about unicorns and narwhals and all kinds of stuff. So you can look up the Girls Who Do Stuff podcast. That came out about a week ago, and there's a new one coming. Probably the best way to find out about that is to sign up for my newsletter. If you go to markmasters.co, like Colorado or cholera, if you're not a good speller, you'll find a link to look up to sign up for my newsletter. I know everybody hates email, but it makes my day, and I only send 1 a month. And this next one, I'm excited about writing it. It's going to come out in probably a week or 2, and I'm going to tell a story about something really good that happened to me recently, and it will definitely have information about that. The most recent podcast, which I think is the best episode I've recorded. It was really fun conversation. So I'd love for you to give that one a listen. The second thing was about kids, just a comment. I will tell you a quick story about the Kid Laugh product and what we did and what I thought was the most successful version of that. It was for a girls basketball team. It was like 10, 11-year-olds who played basketball together. And what I did was I got 2, I didn't actually perform on that show because it was a girl talk kind of thing. 11-year-old is a critical age for young women. And so it was all female comics, and the comedians were, talented comedians, but what they had in common, one lived in New York City, one lived in Colorado, but both played basketball at a very high level. One of them at the Air Force Academy and now as a semi-professional women's basketball player, and the other one at a Division I college out east. So they were able to both tell jokes and kind of answer questions for the girls about what it's like to play basketball in high school and what it's like to go on recruitment visits to colleges, and then once you're in college, what it's like to be part of a team and to travel and to dress the same in an airport, and how meal plans worked. And you could really see the gears turning in the kids' heads as they were like visualizing themselves being in college and maybe even being student athletes. So that was really exciting. It was a very optimistic, fun, funny event. So I'd love to do more of those. Those are much harder to book. I'm
How
not
did
quite
those
sure
two
why.
groups connect? Like,
What's that?
did you connect those groups, or how did?
Yes,
I
yeah.
know
So the
in my-
basketball team contacted me, and then it was my decision to not be part of the show. I was like, this would be better. It's all girls. It'd be better if the show was all girls.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like the wizard behind the scenes, but I was not on that actual show. I'll give you another example. There was a family that was kind of spread out all around the world, just like you were mentioning. Uh, but the largest group of them were in rural Minnesota, and they saw me on something and wanted an event. And so I got two comedians. One's been in a movie with Billy Bob Thornton. One had the #1 comedy album on Amazon last summer, and myself. The three of us did a show for them. The two other comics, one lives in New York, one lives in LA. The common thread there was both of these comedians grew up in rural Minnesota. So people wouldn't know that, but that's kind of my job, is to curate these comedy shows, and I take it seriously. And it was so fun. Like, people were crying. There were grandmothers, like, I'm pretty sure, peeing their pants. And frankly, I didn't get like half the jokes. A lot of the jokes were very specific to Minnesota by these other two comedians who are relatively famous. And the group just really enjoyed it. So it was a lot of fun to kind of bring that together and have people just have a good time. If you go to markmasters.co/LRL, as in living room laughs, there's a couple testimonial videos there, and you'll just see people so happy after the shows. It's really fun. Okay, so there was a third thing, which was teachers. Do I do anything for teachers? I do. I One is I MC events. That's a thing I do for revenue. An example was for an elementary school that was trying to raise some money. They had a trivia event, like a challenge for the kids, and I MC'd an event like that. So that helped raise money for teachers. The other thing I do is I've spoken to groups of teachers, given that health and laughter talk to groups of teachers, because teachers do have it hard right now. You're totally spot on that, and it's important that they laugh more. That's kind of the theme of my health and laughter talk, is to laugh more, and it provides some laughs in real time and encourages people to laugh more going forward. So yeah, I have things for teachers. Reach out. You can see my email on the screen. Send me a silly cat picture or anything at all so that we connect, and then let me know about a group of teachers, and I'll help them out any way I can.
What is your background?
Oh, well, you saw me. You saw where I started, where I came from. I couldn't even put on a belt properly. But I grew into a big, tall boy, and I've done a lot of I went to college, and I took that attitude about not really caring about other people and what other people thought of me, and just a really strong work ethic, and succeeded at sports and in academia, and even some office stuff. I've done a bunch of worked in cubicles basically, which is like a superpower in comedy, because I know how to like show up on time, although I was a few minutes late today. Sorry, I was tardy. to respond to emails, like work a spreadsheet. They're just some basic, it would make me a mediocre or subpar cubicle worker, but it makes me a superhuman comedian to have these kind of basic office skills, which is nice. People definitely trust, they have me on a show and they realize that I do a good job marketing it and show up on time and stick to my time. I remember the first time I did a 20-minute set and I finished at 20 minutes and 2 seconds. And I was so proud that like it was so precise. And the audience didn't know that I was like right on that number, but I felt really good about it. And showrunners notice that. I run a lot of shows, so I definitely notice it in other comedians. You can tell who's kind of like maybe not as serious about seeing themselves as as part of a small business. You're providing some entertainment, and that's another thing I do in these curated comedy shows. I mostly work with comics that I trust, unless the audience requests a specific comedian. But these are people I've worked with before. I know they're not gonna be super vulgar unless people have asked for vulgar material, which does happen. And people are going to stick to their time and show up and have quality audio and video, and for the online stuff at least. So, yeah.
So do you prefer the online or do you prefer in person?
Oh man. Well, tomorrow night is my first in-person show in 6 months or so. Like and my first like show, this is at a bar, but it's rooftop bar, so it's kind of outdoors. But it's my first bar show in over a year. But before that, I did some parking lots and botanic garden kind of things, but haven't been to like an actual venue in forever. So we'll see. If I'm a little nervous about it, if I'm being totally honest and transparent. But there are pluses to both of them. A lot of comedians hate online. They just don't, they won't participate in it. They think it's not real comedy, and it is very different. When you're in person, when there's a couple hundred people, there's this like hive mind thing that happens when a really, skilled comedian can, which is, I would say beyond my skill level at this point. I'll get there. But they can kind of, speak to an audience as a group, as opposed to a number of individuals, and kind of ride the waves of people's laughs and the energy of the audience. And it's almost like watching a hypnotist. And it's really impressive to see a skilled comedian do that. Online, the interactivity is much lower. You still need to be funny, but it's just the feedback loop is very different. And that's something I pride myself on my shows. I make sure that there are live audience members, that there is laughter that you can hear. But yeah, so there are pluses and minuses. For sure, I enjoy the commute of an online show way better. I can wear my pajamas and walk, from one room into a closet where I have a studio set up, and put on a show. That's way better than driving to Chicago for 2 free beers to do a show, which is, I don't know if you have an MBA or what, but that's not a good economic model.
Well, it's easier to quash a heckler online, right, than it is in a live audience. You just click the button and shut them up.
Yeah, well, I mean, yes and no. In a live show, an audience member is one voice out of 100 and is pretty far from the microphone. In an online show, the heckler or the Zoom bomber, whatever you want to call him, has the same microphone as everybody else, potentially. So yes, you can stop them, but they can be more disruptive before you stop them, potentially. So that's been a whole new, different, thing. I have a new bit I've been working on about how it must frustrate the Unabomber or Unabomber, however you say that Zoom bombers have like adopted that word. Like, how come they get to be bombers? Like, that guy had to write like a 36,000 word manifesto, and just show up in their pajamas at their home. All they need is an internet connection, and he didn't even want the internet to exist, you know? See, I got to figure out if that works. I was trying to use you guys as an open mic right there. Looks like
I think
it's got a
it's good.
little.
I think it's good, and it treads very well on that border of like, is it okay to make
Yeah,
light
it is
serious? But I think it is. So
Yeah.
You know,
That's
I-
funny. I have a couple of shooting jokes that I can never tell in Colorado because it's like always there's another shooting. It's like whenever I feel like it's safe to tell a shooting joke again, nope, there's another shooting. And so, yeah, I got to be
Well,
careful in those.
it is.
And
Well,
it's
and I
not really
know
on brand for me to tell that kind of stuff.
for
But-
this festival I'm going to, one of the main headliners had to drop out because 2 years ago in Vegas, they made a joke about the shooting, and still 2 years later, people protested them being top billing at this festival. So no effects, just had to drop out.
Wow.
But,
Who is
yeah.
that?
No effects, the band.
Oh, no. Oh, the band. Oh, yeah. I know them. I saw them at Red Rocks a long time ago.
Yeah, so they had to drop out of punk rock bowling and get replaced by the Descendants because of that shooting joke 2
Huh.
years later.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to be careful.
People hold on.
Speaking of, you guys aren't recording or distributing this, right? I'm not going to get canceled for that Unabomber joke.
So we are live on Facebook, but
Okay. But you'll take it down later.
I can if you
Yeah,
prefer.
please. Yeah.
I'll trim it and cut it off at that
Perfect.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
That's terrific.
Yeah, because the rest of it was too good not to share with our audience who comes back and visits later. So
Yeah. Well, I'll talk to you later about it. But yeah, I do ask that you take out like my presentation and the Q&A.
oh, okay.
Just
Sure.
because some of this content I get paid for, and so I
Gotcha.
don't want people to find it online.
You got it. So Facebook gives me the opportunity to trim it after the fact. So I'll go ahead and
Perfect.
do that.
Yeah, if you can stop it right after Vishal's awesome presentation,
Sure.
that'd be great.
Sure.
So anybody
All right.
watching this right now, you're getting a special treat. You
Yeah,
wouldn't be
for
able
real.
to
Melanie,
this.
you are tuning into something really special. Well, the idea is that a lot of people still aren't coming back out to in-person things, even though we
Yeah.
are fully open and open for business here in Georgia.
Yeah.
And our audience tends to grow after our events. We
Yeah,
only meet
I get
here
it.
once a
I
month.
get it. It's definitely an unusual request.
No,
And nobody
I
will
get it.
see this conversation later, but yeah, I do ask that you just sometime later today, take it off.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it right away. I've got a
Okay.
pretty full day, so I'll squeeze it in right now before we get on to the next part of our lives.
Awesome.
Mark, thank you so much. Did you want to say?
I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Vishal, I think you're still on. I want to just thank you again. And for those of you who are regulars, let me get my mouse back and just confirm that our next time we meet is June 2nd. We have a company called Appalachian Specialty Pharmacy and another called Milestonia. So I hope you'll join us on June 2nd at 8:30.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having
everybody.
us. Mark, I enjoyed your presentation. I was laughing here on mute.
Thanks, Vishal. Love it.
All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Just grab that.
Are we still recording?
I'm ending.